Hey guys, we're back with a few more horror films you may not have heard of, and this list is specifically thanks to all of you commenting and leaving recommendations on past videos. I've watched them all, slept with a little nightlight on, I didn't get up to pee once, just peed my pants right there, and I mustered up the courage to sit down and make this video. Here are 5 more horror gems you should check out. And if you guys have any film recommendations at all for us to watch, horror or otherwise, leave a comment below. And as always, I want to give a special thanks to our patrons over on the Backfocus Patreon. Check it out if you'd like to help support this channel.
카메라도 되고 영화도 볼 수 있고 쇼핑도 할 수 있고.
거짓말 같은데.
뭐 또 궁금한 거 없어?
나는 어떨까?
When Kim Saw-yeon visits her sick, estranged mother in her childhood home, she comes across an old cordless phone. When it rings, she's shocked to hear the screams of a woman named Oh Young-suk, abused and basically imprisoned in her own house by her mother, a strict, domineering shaman.
지금은 풍수가 기울어서 그래. 털을 옮기면 금방 괜찮아질 거야.
It turns out that this phone is somehow linked across time, and Oh Young-suk is living in the same house as Kim Saw-yeon 20 years in the past.
믿기 힘들겠지만 우리가 지금 같은 집에 있는 것 같아요.
After they manage to wrap their heads around this bizarre occurrence, a plan begins to form. Maybe they can change the future.
집에 불이 났었어. 엄마가 가스불 끄는 걸 깜빡했거든.
Kim's father had died in a fire right around the same time 20 years prior, and Oh Young-suk manages to save him. It all goes swimmingly, but this is a horror film, things take a darker, gruesome turn, and I'd rather leave the rest of that for you to discover. What I will say is that, at least to me, it was unexpected.
일이 잘못돼도 전화기는 끝까지 가지고 있어. 그래야 다시 바꿀 수 있으니까.
As a time travel nerd, I liked the rules here, right? There are no alternate universes, we got a nice, strict, one-timeline thing going on, paradoxes and all. The sci-fi elements reminded me of Frequency. Actually, you guys ever see that? It's like there's a Aurora Borealis thing that lets Jesus talk to his dead father, Dennis Quaid, years ago.
This ain't no dream.
But how could it be?
I don't know.
It's a solid whodunit with a strong emotional core. The Call manages to take the same concept and flip it into a sleek, modern horror movie with captivating visuals and unexpected twists. It also reminded me of The Black Phone. Yeah, it's another good horror movie with a phone, right? There's also Mr. Harrigan's Phone, Don't Answer the Phone, Murder by Phone, and Phone. I think if Alexander Graham Bell were alive, he'd probably have an Oppenheimer moment regretting what he created. Anyway, The Call. Check it out. Pick it up. Answer it. Do it. Don't let this movie go to voicemail. I hate myself.
What's happening?
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
I think you might have been sleepwalking.
Oh no, did I do something embarrassing? Like pee or eat something weird?
No, just stood there.
When Maya, an actress living in Denmark, meets Leah, they instantly hit it off. But after Leah unexpectedly has a seizure and hurts her leg, Maya helps her get back to her home in London, where she meets Leah's Orthodox Jewish mother, who still fawns and cares for Leah like she's a child.
Tomorrow, I'm giving you one of my massages, just like when you were little and got your funny episodes. Great. Now you need to relax.
No, I'm fine.
No, just lie down.
I don't need to
lie down and relax.
I don't need to lie down. Just stop!
On an interpersonal level, it's already a nice, awkward setup. Meeting the extremely religious, overbearing mother of a girl you've known for a few days, wondering if she's even okay with her daughter dating a girl, or even if she knows that her daughter's gay. It's a lot to take in a short amount of time. As Maya begins to realize that Leah's mother may be mentally ill, part of her wonders if this is all too much to take on right now.
So maybe you should just go for a little walk.
Yes, of course.
No, stay.
It's fine.
She's good. Lie down.
But there's something else going on, perhaps? Something demonic. Maya finds all these little things around the house, bowls under the dresser, piles of salt in corners of the room. When Maya begins talking with a Jewish bookstore owner who specializes in Kabbalah, she's torn between two possibilities. Leah's mother is simply not well and is convinced that her daughter is possessed by a dybbuk, or she's actually possessed by a dybbuk.
It's the tortured soul of someone who died.
It's like a ghost.
No, it's not like a ghost. It's a deep book.
Ever since the release of The Exorcist, there have been all these filmmakers exploring different angles and variations of demonic possession with mostly awful results, right? Some are okay, but there's a lot out there. Attachment has a lot going for it to set it apart. On top of centering the plot around a genuinely captivating whirlwind romance, it was also interesting to see the whole demonic possession element being examined from the perspective of Orthodox Judaism.
See, what we were discussing used to be a very rich part of Jewish mysticism, but nowadays it's frowned upon, and I can't be seen discussing these things in public.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I feel like I got the hang of the Catholic version. You throw some holy water around, you got the Bible verses, you make sure to mention Jesus in there somewhere, bing, bang, boom, no demon. Out the window. But here, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are here. My wife has Orthodox Jewish cousins, and I still have trouble keeping track of all the steps involved at Passover. Anyway, if you're looking for an effective, slow burn twist on an old concept, I'd say Attachment is worth watching.
There's an old Jewish superstition, can't leave a book open, or like a demon might read it and learn from it and use the knowledge for evil.
Cool.
Very, very few actresses ever get to this room. Sarah, you're at the gates. All you need is for me to open them for you.
What would you be willing to do to be a star? Oh boy, that's a loaded question, one that's been explored well in the horror genre recently with films like Pearl or The Substance. It's a question that Sarah, an attractive young struggling actress, finds herself asking throughout the indie horror film Starry Eyes. When she's not getting ogled at by her boss working at a Hooters-esque restaurant, she's retreating to the bathroom after failed auditions, pulling her own hair out. But one day, a casting director happens to overhear Sarah having one of these fits.
Maybe we didn't see all we needed from you after all.
She's asked to perform it again and begins to move up the ladder in the audition process for a film called The Silver Scream, being produced by one of the biggest production companies in town. But the requests from production grow darker and darker.
The ad didn't say anything about nudity. Does the role call for that?
It doesn't.
When I first watched Starry Eyes, I was initially put off by the heightened, kind of surface-level depiction of a struggling actor's world, but after revisiting it, it's clear to me that in addition to establishing a good, really weird tone, it's a necessary setup to go to truly unexpected, bizarre, wild places with the story. I mean, the filmmakers here took the premise and went above and beyond what I expected.
I'm trying to do something big. I'm trying to do something with my life. How am I supposed to do this when you surround me with these losers?
On one level, sure, it can be appreciated as an effective metaphor for the dangers of compromising who you are for success. And then there's the obvious commentary on predatory practices in Hollywood. But those elements by themselves in a film, they're easy to get lost in the noise. Starry Eyes goes off the deep end, man. It doesn't just touch on the dark side of Hollywood, it revels in it, both thematically and visually. And it's a welcome entry in the wanna be a star genre of horror.
That's what we were looking for, Sarah. Thank you.
I'm having the bedroom with a bed in it. You will cook and clean. You do know what we're taking on.
Yes,
You know the dangers.
I do.
This is a serious undertaking. It's not f***ing astral projection or runes. This is real stuff we're playing with. Real angels, real demons.
Joseph, an unlikely spiritual medium with a ginger beard and a thick Cockney accent, isn't messing around when he tells Sophia, a woman who is more than dedicated to navigate a complex ritual in order to speak to her dead son, that this is gonna take a lot.
How much do you want it?
More than anything.
It will take months. They can't leave the house. She must do everything Joseph tells her to do, no matter how awful it sounds.
You've been cleansed ritually, you're going to be cleansed physically.
Is it going to be horrible?
Yep.
And already the groundwork is laid out for an effective slow burn horror concept that works on a number of levels. Your first thought, must be, is this guy legit, or is he some kind of charlatan preying on the vulnerability of other people? It's impossible to ignore. Look at the situation. You got Sophia. She's a woman. She's going to be living with this guy she doesn't know for months.
She'll go for days without sleep, fasting, back-breaking rites, ritual sex. You'll be at the very edge. You ready for all that, darling?
I am.
Then there are the rules of the process, the whole ritual, right? The film is structured in a way that we don't really know all of the steps. When he just throws like a tree branch in that room, I don't know what that's for. He's drawing stuff on the floor. I don't know what this room is supposed to be. Some of the rules we're aware of, and we don't want to see them broken. There may be other rules we don't know about that have already been broken.
Once I complete this circle, no one can leave till the invocation's done. Not for food, not for emergency, not for anything.
Combined with the open possibility that Joseph may have ulterior motives, the tension never dissipates. Like, we don't want to see anything go wrong because either a ghost is going to pop out of the wall saying horse cock.
Do any of these f***ers ever blast out of the wall and have like a huge shot?
Or Joseph is going to do something, dangerous. But like Sophia, once the ritual begins, we're along for the ride to see it through to the end.
Shit.
It's begun.
What?
It's a sign. Synchronicity has a sign that it's beginning.
Author Orson Scott Card once wrote about 3 types of fear, dread being the strongest. Quote, "It is that tension, that waiting that comes when you know there's something to fear, but you have not yet identified what it is. A dark song lives and breathes dread. Inaudible voices and indiscernible shadows haunt the house. Or maybe Sophia, sleep-deprived and fasting at odd intervals, is imagining everything. Either way, we're in uncharted waters, we've lost the rule book, and there's nowhere to go for comfort."
It's just that this house is prone to certain disturbances.
Mom. What do you mean?
Well, there may be 1 or 2 occupants who haven't quite left the premises.
No, I'm sorry, I still don't get what you mean.
Housebound is a genuine New Zealand horror comedy gem. It's Megan director Gerard Johnstone's directorial debut, and it pulls off the rare feat of being both genuinely terrifying and also, somehow, very funny.
Where's Graham? He's on the night shift.
After the troubled, rebellious Kylie gets arrested for a failed robbery attempt, she ends up on house arrest with her truly lovely, doting mother, Miriam.
Aren't you lucky, Kylie, having all that fancy technology on your foot? Quite spoiled.
I love the musical stings here. Like, the movie's already building tension in kind of a comical way because, to Kylie, living with her mother is a horror movie. The two clearly have a complicated relationship, and Kylie makes it clear whenever she can just how miserable she is.
I made that for tonight.
I've eaten it.
A whole meatloaf.
No?
The whole thing's gutted. So I suppose I have to go back to the supermarket and get something else for tea then.
Well, I can't go, can I?
One night, Kylie's listening to a paranormal program on the radio and coincidentally hears her mom telling the interviewer about strange occurrences in the house.
There was one incident in particular that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt took place in the real world and not in my imagination.
Kylie initially writes it off as dementia, but after hearing some strange noises herself, she and her mom try to get to the bottom of these disturbances with the help of security contractor / paranormal enthusiast Amos, who takes his second job very seriously.
This is a record ID for the house of Kylie and Miriam Bucknell. The date is the 18th of March 2013. The time, 2:30 a.m.
What are you doing?
To the restless spirit that lives in this house, what is your business here?
So right there, look, we got 3 well-defined, funny characters. Our cynical protagonist, her quirky, overbearing mother, and an earnest, deadpan investigator who more or less knows what he's doing.
Did you hurt yourself?
At some stage, you just might want to get your wiring checked.
As broad as these characterizations could be, they fit seamlessly into the world of a horror movie. Maybe the comedy works because it feels like they don't belong in a horror movie? I don't know, it reminds me of The Big Lebowski, and how the dude is a character who has no place being in a heightened whodunit thriller involving ransom and kidnapping. In another way, it also reminded me of the tone of Shaun of the Dead, and how that movie successfully inserted 2 bumbling characters into a horrifying zombie apocalypse. In the same way, Housebound doesn't ease up on the horror elements. Like, there truly is something going on in the house, the movie treats it seriously, and so do the characters, which is also a great example of an old acting edict. Sometimes the best way to do comedy is to play it completely straight. And in my opinion, it works even more because of the setting. You got this deadpan delivery that's combined with the politeness of New Zealand characters. The sharp comic timing seems straight out of a Taika Waititi comedy.
Ghosts have a lower body temperature than humans.
D-Day.
What are you going to do against a hostile spirit? You're just going to crack jokes?
Nah, I'm gonna smash it in the face.
You can't punch ectoplasm.
In fact, actress Rima Tewiata played another lovely mother figure in Taika Waititi's Hunt for the Wilder People. So, I'm not normally a fan of horror comedies. I like being scared, I like a good comedy, but when you mix the two, there's this danger of the best elements of both genres getting diluted into something more or less mediocre. Housebound confidently avoids this pitfall and walks a pitch-perfect tightrope. In the end, I can't decide if it's the funniest horror movie I've ever seen or the scariest comedy. Either way, it works like crazy. Alright, horror heads, thanks for watching, and this year's already turning out to be another great year for horror, by the way. I already have a good list going on some of the more obscure horror gems from 2025, so we got that cooking for a future video. As always, comment below if you guys have any more recommendations, and you just stay spooky, man. Keep it going. Keep Halloween going all year round.